And then I'm going to jump into health and compliance. This is the life cycle management part of Swimage. So now you got deployments all handled and everything. Now you get into the life cycle. So this monitors exactly which machines are compliant, healthy, and you can start setting up rules to make sure machines stay healthy. And you can trigger events based on how far machines get out of compliance or if they become unhealthy, and to manage them that way. So for example, if I wanted to filter this down, it's a very, very snappy filtering process. I just simply click on which machines in this pie are not compliant. It automatically filters the top band to be all the machines that are not compliant. So I can take a look at a machine and say this machine is not compliant because it's not encrypted. Okay, so it has the rule assigned. The rule is check for encryption. Okay, and the alert on this is simply alert. Now you can add additional actions on this criteria to say it's not encrypted. You can do things like lock the system, reboot the system, reinstall applications, enable encryption, things like that. You have a lot of flexibility what you want to do as far as what criteria you look for, and then which actions you take based on that criteria. And it's completely flexible. We have a lot out of the box, but you can customize it to do however you need as far as maintaining your own company's compliance rules. Okay, and Swimage does that automatically. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to clear my filter, but I'm going to get to a machine. I'm going to get down to my demo machine again, and I'm going to look for my demo that is not compliant. And we have one right here. I'm going to open him up. He's not only not compliant, he's not really healthy. So what I'm going to do here is I don't want him on the network. I'm going to bring him up. Okay, put him aside. I'll show you what this machine looks like. Okay, and this guy right here. This I need to log in. I will log in. As far as the user is concerned, they're sitting there happy, they're doing their job. They're not realizing this machine is having some issues, but you're certainly seeing it over here. So what I'm going to do is I want to add an action. I'm going to say, you know what, I want to do some security actions on this, and I don't like what's happening. I don't feel comfortable with even the user's on here. I'm going to lock the device. You have been locked out per Kyle. Okay, you can do that. And I'm going to save that. And what that's going to do is send an event over to this machine and actually lock the system. And Swimage has a locking process. This is a system level lock. And what this locking process does is it prevents any more access to this machine. And you could reboot it, you can power it off or whatever, but you're not going to get back in here. The only way to get back in here is if you have a technician actually physically on this machine that knows the passphrase to get past this lock screen, or send a command remotely to unlock it. So at this point, this machine is completely locked out. I can go ahead and I'll send another action to unlock it. I'll go ahead and do that. Save that, and then it can unlock the machine. Now that's just one example of some of the things you can do with these activities. You can reboot it, you can re-image it, so you can do multiple tasks. So I want to lock it out and I want to re-image the device. You can do that. That's really useful for kiosks and those public-facing machines. You can actually send those commands out if you see machines become out of compliance. Let's say you feel like it's gotten hacked, it's got profiles that don't belong, or you can check for certain activity on a machine that says, I don't like what's going on in this machine. Immediately Swimage will lock it. Immediately Swimage will rebuild the system from all known good source and get that system back operational without ever sending out technicians. So if you have kiosks that are in the wild and you just need to manage and monitor those, you can do that directly from Swimage and not even have techs involved. It can do that completely automated. Okay. So that's the compliance engine, and you can manage it pretty closely with that. So what I'm going to do is I'll show you a little bit more about how the compliance is configured. I'll clear all the filters and go into the configuration. So it's basically built on triggers, actions, and rules. So in this area, you'll say, I want to check for certain triggers. So for instance, I want to say, check for GIMP. Is GIMP installed or not? So you're going to monitor an application, or you can check for drive space, you can check for encryption, and you can monitor based on a script, a type of folder. Swimage has a lot of built-in activities as well to monitor. And then based on what it finds, you can take action on those. And the actions include alerting, taking action, running scripts, recovering the system, deploying the system, locking it out, whatever you want to do as far as actions go. Okay, and then the rules, once you've defined what your triggers and action are, you can create a rule. So for instance, I have a rule that says I want to look for encryption. So the name of the rule is remediate based on encryption. The description is not encrypted. I'm going to run it in a single instance. So what this will do is run, as soon as it detects that this machine's not encrypted, it's going to run the trigger, which is going to have the action of enable encryption. So as soon as it detects this machine's not encrypted, it immediately enables encryption on it. And within seconds, it's going to start the activity of enabling that encryption. So that's kind of the way the rules and configuration are set up on there.